I'm going to show you how to use Excel to do a double XY scatter plot. And so what I have here is use an example of college, and I don't know exactly what the costs are, but you can do this on your own and figure it out. I have 3 credits, 6 credits, 9, 12, and 15. And let's assume that it's about 1950, 2700. You know, those are the prices of what you pay. And I put 1 year, actually it should be semester 1, I would guess. And this would be semester 2. But you could look at it as year 1, year 2. And then what I was going to do here is I was going to say, okay, let's say there's a 5% increase for semester 2 in the credits. So I just go equals, and then I go B2 times, and then I use parenthesis 1 plus, because 5% is 0.05 and it's a 5% increase, it's actually going to be 1.05, but I want to use that percent increase, and I can go shift dollar sign, shift dollar sign. So then it always references that one. And if you look, now watch when I fill down, you get all those percentages. Now, if it was a 10% increase, I could change this to 10%, which is 1/10, and it automatically fills those out. So let's say there's a 10% increase in your tuition. I mean, colleges do stuff like this all the time, usually not semester to semester, but year to year. So this is the cost, and I think you guys pay, or I know it's pretty close to that. So let's look at this. I'm going to choose this data, and again, I'm going to make an XY scatter. I want to look at, is there a linear pattern here? What is the linear pattern? Can I figure out some information here? What can this tell me? So I'm going to choose my XY scatter plot up here, marked scatter, and you'll see semester 2 starts pretty close to the same, but it gets a little more separated as it goes up, which is what percentages will do. The bigger the number, the larger gap it creates. So if you do percentage increases, what happens is it's not as much of an increase for taking a few credits, but it's a larger increase if you take a lot. So now let's choose our semester 2. I'm going to right click, add trend line, then I'm going to go over to options. It automatically did it as a linear, but I think I can switch around from automatic. Display equation on chart, and make sure you have linear chosen, and there it is. So here's our equation. I'm going to put it right here by semester 2 so I can keep track. Then I'm going to go ahead and make this one too. I'm going to add another trend line, options, display equation in chart, and go OK. Now I'm going to put this one over here by that one. So now I know which one's which. So here's what this is telling me. If I'm going to look at this data, and it goes down, and you'll notice that they'd actually cross somewhere over here. But what you want to look at is, how is it going to go up? Is the further it goes up, do you see the bigger the gap? So if you took more credits, it ends up costing more. But if you look at here, so semester 1, this $1,200, that's what you pay if you took no credits, which essentially you don't take no credits, but if you actually took no credits, that's your base pay. You're not paying per credit. So that'd probably be something like, oh, I would guess all your fees. I don't know if you guys have lots of fees, different other fees that you end up having to pay, technology fee, this fee, that fee, plus $250 per credit. That's why the slope, the rate, is $250. So $250 per credit. Now if you did that 10% increase, you can look at this and go, oh, well this one, they increased it so it's $1,320 as with all your fees and everything else, but $275 per credit. Now again, this is all hypothetical. I made these numbers up. I don't know exactly what it is. I didn't have time to research it, so I just made those numbers up. But that's what this is telling you. $1,350 in fees, $2,750. Now, do you see how this created the sheet over the top of my other one, and I don't really like that? I mean, I actually want to see my numbers back there, and they're all covered. So on mine, I can right-click it, and I can move my chart. I'm going to move that chart, and I want to move it to a new sheet. And let's call it tuition chart. sounds like an easy name for it. And I will go click OK. And there's my chart. It covers the whole sheet. There's no cells, anything like that. That's my chart. Now if I go back to my sheet 1, there's my sheet 1. I don't have a big old chart right there covering it. I want to go look at my tuition chart right here. And now I can change. It should be interlined. So let's just, instead of using that equation for this one, I'm going to make that number like 7,000. Enter. Now let's go to my tuition chart. And you should see